24th meeting of the Albany County Legislature Public Works Committee to order. Mayor, Majority Council Kane, please take the roll call.
Sure. Ricard.
Present.
Miller. Present. Cleary. Andrew Joyce.
Here.
Lang.
Here.
Mayo. Reinhardt.
Yep.
Bergdorf.
Yep.
And Smith. You have a quorum.
Thank you. Did everyone have the opportunity to look at last month's minutes?
Yes.
Someone would like to make a motion on? Mr. Lane, second. Mr. Bergdorf, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item carries unanimously. Okay, we'll move on to the second item on agenda.
Item 2 is authorizing an agreement with Labella Associates regarding construction and administrative services for the Water Purification District North and South plants. Executive Director Gaudio is here this evening.
Great, thank you. Yeah, this is a contract authorization for engineering services. As indicated, this would be with Labella Associates. This is for the design and construction administration services for high voltage electrical improvements at both our north and south plant. We've got some rather large concerns with our north plant because we don't have any redundancy. We have basically a piece of switchgear that's currently failed, so we are trying to expedite this as quickly as possible. These projects were previously approved under the district's capital plan, and we are looking to get this financed through EFC, but we're still trying to work through that approval process. And then the contract amount is for $850,000. And that includes engineering services. There's contingency into that, and then there will be some level of construction inspection services thereafter, and we're looking at roughly a 3 to 4 year contract depending on lead times for the equipment, which is rather lengthy.
Thank you. Do any of the legislators have it? Mr. Reinhardt?
I was so hoping you were gonna say that 850 is gonna cover the construction too.
I wish.
Do
We're
you have any idea what that ultimate construction cost would be?
just under 28 million, so I think we're 27.7 million is the estimate between north and south. 24 is the north, which is the bigger piece of that because we're redoing the entire switch or the yard, high voltage yard. So that's a bigger piece of it. South plant's a little bit smaller, so, but because our concern is really the fact that we don't have any redundancy at the north plant currently, and right now there's a 2 year lead time on some of the switchgear equipment, so there's some concern with
Yeah,
that.
you're not changing the service, are you? You're not changing voltage or anything?
No.
Thank you. Mr. Lane, you have a question?
Yes, so based on what you're saying, does that make this the high priority, like, go-to item that is gonna be handled like ASAP, or?
Yeah, so we've already done a study. That's where we got the cost estimates from. So the next step would be sliding into design, and then we'll have to talk to the comptroller's office to see how we actually move forward with construction, depending on where we are with the state. We had submitted a
Do you
capital.
have to get the EFC to approve?
This project is actually under the capital improvement plan that we just got a $25 million grant for, so that's captured under that. It's already through on the intended use plan through EFC. So we're still working to get that approved. So again, depending on how we want to do this, we'll have to probably go back to EFC if we want to kind of break this out and kind of.
Okay, that's kind of where it's going, all right.
Yeah, but we're not going to be able, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to probably wait if we can't get the approval through the state in the timeframe that makes sense.
So basically, that's a yes, you have to get this.
Yes.
done.
Yes. Yeah, yesterday.
Thank you. Please acknowledge Mr. Harrison. Do any of the legislators have any further questions on this item? Someone like to make a motion then?
I'm over approved.
Do I have a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item carries unanimously. Thank you.
Item 3 is authorizing an agreement with Empire Electric New York regarding the Stedman House renovation project. Commissioner Latine is here this evening.
Yes, Commissioner Latina for Department of General Services. We issued a bid for the renovation and for the Stedman House. Empire Electric, which is lowest responsibility bidder, out of 3 bids that we had for $483,000, and we added simply $2,450 for contingency for a grand total of $577,450. Plus, there's a $22,000 for the control system that's a little bit separate. Those are the card swipe access systems that we have to put in there too. So there's $22,000 in that electrical bid in this bid.
Thank you. Do any of the legislators have any?
This is a question that covers all of the Stedman House projects. I can't remember what the Stedman House is.
Stedman House is right next to the Justice Center. It's that historical building that sits there on the corner. It was never renovated when the Justice Center was done. The The DA is using it right now for support staff. When we get finished with this, the DA will be moving people back in there, but we'll be able to use all 4 floors plus the basement of this building for the staff, because the district attorney is very short on room at the Justice Center.
You saw a lot of money on all these projects, I'm thinking, boy, I should know
Well,
that.
renovation, I was just discussing with Legislator Picard, renovation work is a lot more expensive than it is to build new, because you don't know what you're gonna run into when you start doing renovation work, especially this one. This one is an historical piece of property, so you have to maintain the historical value of the property. That's why when we went out for this, we hired an historical architecture and engineering firm. Taylor and Riley actually did the design on this, for historical reasons.
Thanks.
Mr. Berger?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Dave, we took a tour of the place, and I was amazed at the spacing there and how nice it was, the raw footage and stuff. There's only one cut-through between the Stedman and the Justice Center, right? There's just one floor.
There's actually 2.
Is there?
Yeah, the first
Well,
is-
they said the one upstairs wasn't functioning.
Yeah, the first and second floor line up with the Stedman in order to get into the Stedman house from the Justice Center. When they built it, the other 2 floors didn't line up. This also adds an elevator in the building, in the front stairwell on the second floor, to access the 3 and 4 on the top there, which brings it back up to code, and it will be able to use the 3 and 4, because 3 and 4 you can't even use right now.
Yeah, that was all just storage, right?
Yeah, just storage and that all is.
Beautiful building. It's a shame to put cubbies in there.
Yeah, we're maintaining a lot of the woodwork that's in there and trying, you know, keeping it as historical as we possibly can.
Mr. Lane?
Yeah, going on what Bill said, and I went on the tour as well. So all in all, this is close to $2.9 million for all the renovation work. How much would it cost to just tear it down and build?
You can't tear it down.
You can't.
Historic building.
It's a historic building.
So it has, this is it.
This is it.
This is it.
This is your only choice on the building. If they would have, years ago, if they would have tried to tear it down when they were building the Justice Center because they needed the room, you had a little better shot. Now going back to the historic and saying we want to rip this down and to put something else new, it's not going to fly with it.
But is what we're looking at here, is should that cover everything that needs to be done?
It covers that, but
to make
there's
it
just,
usable again for the.
yes, there's actually a separate contract that was done to do the outside of the building, because all those windows have to be replaced. They all have to be rebuilt. You can't even buy new windows for it. The Historical Society won't let you even buy new windows. You have to rebuild the windows that are there.
They have to be wood frame?
Yes. Yeah. This is what you run into with all the historical.
And I assume that's why there's a 15% contingency on this item next to, because of
Yes.
that, as opposed to 10 or
You're
whatever?
right, because you don't know what you're gonna run into once you start pulling the floors apart there, what you're gonna have to beef up, you know, once you start, you know, pulling the floors and stuff like that, especially with the elevator. You know, you gotta run all new wiring, you gotta run everything, you know, so this is the basement. You know, we're also utilizing the basement also on this, so it's actually 5 floors of space.
Okay, so that escalates the cost, obviously?
Yes. But the 15%, if you don't use it, you don't use it.
Okay. Well, hopefully, we don't use it, knock on wood, right?
Yeah, we're usually pretty good at it, you know, we really keep track of any kind of change orders they put in, you know, we find out why, you know, was it in the original portion of the contract and why it needs to be done.
Okay.
And we question the cost as far as their schedule of values.
Okay. Is there any other questions on this item? Someone like to make a motion on it? Mr. Lane, second, Mr. Reinhardt. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Item carries unanimously.
Item 4 is authorizing an agreement with the MJR Company regarding the Stedman House renovation project.
Right, this is the general contractor, VMJR. They were lowest responsive bidder out of 4 bids on this, for a total of $1,589,300. The base bid was $1.382, but we added $207,300 in contingency allowance for this project.
Thank you. Any questions on this item?
Quick question, are all these contractors that we're approving tonight, do they all have experience working on historic buildings?
Yes, that was one of the requirements when it went out for bid through Thaler. They checked everything, they checked everybody for. The general contractor mostly for the historical aspect of it. When you're dealing with the heating and cooling and electrical, not so much. It's really more the aesthetics of it.
Right, yeah, you're not gonna see the wire.
Exactly.
Please acknowledge Mr. Cleary is here too. Is there any other questions on this item?
Move it.
Do I have a second? Reinhardt seconds. All those in favor? Opposed? Item carries unanimously.
Item 5 is authorizing an agreement with DeGiuseppe Mechanical regarding the Stedman House renovation project.
Yes. There was 2 bids on this project for the mechanical portion of it. The total cost is $470,350. If we use the contingency of $61,350, the base bid was $409 on this one.
Thank you. Do any of the legislators have any questions on this item?
Actually, I have one.
Go ahead.
It's not actually about the project itself, but I seen the letter from purchasing, there were 5. There was, not these 3 that we're doing, plus there was also, excuse me.
Yeah, the other two were capped. They came under the
Oh, okay,
cap.
gotcha, perfect. That was my question.
Because the cab was raised to $200,000.
That.
So those 2 with the cap, those were the smaller contracts. I think the sprinkler system contract.
Yep.
And I'm trying to think what the other contract.
That's fine, I just forgot we raised the limit, you're right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mr. Berger?
You just answered my question. I'm thinking of the 4 primes.
Yeah.
And how did we get a 5th? And you said sprinkler, it's usually part of the plumbing
Yeah.
package. Okay, thank you.
If there's no further questions, someone like to make a motion on this item? Mr. Berger makes the motion, second by Mr. Reinhardt. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item carries unanimously.
Item 6 is amending the
Thank you very
2026
much.
Department
Thank you.
of Public Works budget for the Village of Voorheesville Quiet Zone. Commissioner Raimondo is here.
Good
Welcome,
evening,
Commissioner.
everyone. Hi, yes, so this is a request to reappropriate $80,000 into our quiet zone budget line. It existed in our line last year, and we can't bring it over a second year per the comptroller's rules. We're not allowed to encumber it, so we just have to reappropriate it. And the quiet zone is on par to be constructed late this summer.
Mr. Lane?
Okay, railroad quiet zone.
Yes.
What is actually being built?
So they're very specialized gates that will go down in advance of the train coming through town.
Isn't it just the lighting, or is it? just
It's gates and lighting.
The entire gate?
Yep.
So the county, because it's on a county route, the county's responsible for covering that cost, is that?
So it's kind of it's a more complex than that, but basically the village was awarded a grant some years ago, and in order for the grant to be viable, the county had to, because it's our road, had to become part of the whole project in order for the grant to be accepted.
Okay.
And so the county is going to be using this grant money for construction. There is some additional grant money as well. There's another 200 and some odd thousand.
Okay,
And,
gates and what else?
it's basically just gates that are going to go down in
No
advance.
signage?
Well, the bulk of it is the gates, yes. There's always going to be advance warning signs, yes. There will be additional signs, but I don't have the sign design at this time.
Tim, the big issue here, this is in my district. I've been
Okay,
waiting
so,
for
all
this to
right, yeah,
happen
because
for
we have
years.
one.
The big issue here is often you'll have one gate on each side of the tracks for that, for the traffic flow coming that way. This is putting down 4. By putting down 4, the trains can not blare their horns, which is required when you have just the 2 gates. So by having the 4 gates, by making that investment, they don't have to blare their horns as much. They probably aren't going to slow down, but they will basically still be allowed to not make so much noise, which is horrendous when it happens.
So it's not a total like from 7 PM to 7 AM or some type of time frame or something of that nature?
It means all the time they don't have to blare their horns.
I was actually going to ask a similar question, because we
Yeah.
have those in Cohoes, and 10 years ago when it was done, and it's still making noises at 4 o'clock in the morning. But now that you raised about, what did you say, 4 gates? Then
It's
it-
4 gates instead of 2. Yeah,
So
there are
if it's-
already 2 gates on each of the
So maybe there's
other
only 2 in Cohoes, and that's why it's still going out. I don't know the answer to that. That's interesting.
So the railroad said that even with a quiet zone, that the engineer still has the authority to toot their horn.
I heard that. I've heard that.
If there's, some reason that they think that they need to. So, I mean, it's probably not gonna happen all the time, but I
Okay.
think that it is in the right of the engineer to still toot their horn.
Like,
On occasion.
they sense danger or whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Okay. You have a question?
This started 10 years ago,
Yeah, that's what I said.
under your predecessor,
Yeah.
Commissioner Duncan. And what was happening is when you have two gates, people don't see the train coming, and they think they can skirt around and drive around them.
Sure.
That requires them to blare the horn for a mile in each direction, so that everybody knows it's coming.
Okay.
And then with four, there's no way to get around them and be unsafe, so they can have the abridged tooting.
Okay. Well, I learned something, so that's a good.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is there any other questions on this item? Somebody like to make a motion on it? Mr. Clary, second by Mr. Lane. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Item carries unanimously.
Item 7 is amending the 2026 Department of Public Works budget for paving.
Yep, this is a similar budget amendment. We can't encumber this money again because we've already encumbered it once. So we're amending our budget to accept the $228,532 from the Champlain Hudson Power Authority. They are giving us this money because they went ahead and trenched 2 of our roads, and we're going to be able to use this money for paving it this year. It's part of our hauling and placing, so rather than using our state aid, this money is going to help pave County Routes 53 and 54.
Thank you. Do any of the legislators have any questions on this item?
I have a question, but not on this item.
Go
That's all
ahead.
right. While you're talking about paving and all that, did we ever find anyone to pave County Route 2? Remember with the bridge? We were slated to have it done 2 summers ago, then this summer they did
Yes.
core samples.
Yeah, County Route 2, I believe, is on hauling and placing this year.
Okay, perfect, that's all, that was my own question. If not, I'll move
Yep.
it.
Thank you. You want to move it?
Yes.
Do I have a second? Mr. Cleary, seconds. All those in favor? Opposed? Item carries unanimously. Move to the next
Item 8 is amending the 2026 Department of Public Works budget for specialty equipment.
Yep, this is a budget amendment to move $145,000 into our specialty equipment line. This money is CHIPS money, and it is going to pay for a new asphalt compactor, which is essentially a roller. And this will allow us to have, we now have 2 rollers after we purchase this and 2 sweepers. So we'll be able to do shoulder work on 2 different roads simultaneously. So that really helps us with efficiencies so that we are not having to transport equipment from one division to another and have to wait on equipment to become available. So this is going to be a great purchase.
Mr. Reinhardt?
So, are we ever gonna have a chance to, partner with municipalities on the use of this equipment since we never had to before? Will that provide us some opportunities for, a shared service arrangement, I think?
Yeah, we're always open to doing shared services, and typically, if a municipality needs a piece of our equipment, we will supply the equipment plus an operator so that, the liability is with us, with our operator, not, giving it to them. So it makes it a lot easier for us to share our equipment. It does. We did it anyway, even without this purchase, but this helps out.
This seems like maybe,
Yeah,
point of my question is, we might be able to do it more now that we have that extra piece of equipment.
yes, that is true.
I'll make the motion.
Yep, you can make a motion. Mr. Reinhardt makes a motion. Do I have a second? Mr. Cleary, seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item carries unanimously.
Item 9 is authorizing an agreement with Birdsall Excavation and Construction regarding the County Route 111 over Hannah Croy Bridge Creek replacement project.
Yep, so we're going to be rehabilitating our County Route 111 bridge in Queens this year, and Birdsall was the lowest bidder. We received 3 bids. They were exceptionally tight, but Birdsall was the lowest, and they were vetted, and we would like to request to enter into an agreement with them.
Thank you, Commissioner. Do any legislators have any questions on this item?
Just a comment. I've never
Proceed.
seen two bids so close at that price. I mean, for that
Right.
amount of money,
I know,
that was kind of amazing.
yep.
Yep, it was very close. Any further questions? Someone make the motion? Mr. Reinhardt, do I have a second? Mr. Smith, all those in favor? Opposed? Item carries unanimously. Thank you,
Thank you.
Commissioner. That's it, right?
Yeah. Move we adjourn.
We adjourn then. Well, we adjourn.
Second?
Do I have a second?
I think we should continue to see that contract.